Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 68 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Just sneaking in here, and looks like my queen finally died. Now if you guys remember, I had bred I think it was a purebred fiendish with a purebred demonic. I think I had the fiendish princess there, and of course that had a 100% chance of giving me fiendish demonic offspring. So I've got a fiendish demonic princess right here. Now I did actually happen to have another purebred demonic drone that I got from the last time one of these died. So I've got a fiendish demonic combined with a purebred demonic. Should give us our best chance of getting some serious business demonic queens, which will be great because, yeah, it's going to be cool. Hostile environment? What? Cannot work in this biome. What biome can you live in? You've got no... Oh, you stink. Oh well. I'm going to have to bring them to the hell biome, I guess. So we'll go visit the netherworld right now. Alright, so I've got my fiendish demonic hybrid going right here. Looking good. Just to make sure you guys understand the way this works. So this guy has a long lifespan, slow producer of resources, requires nether flowers. Its inactive trait is its flammability, so good thing that's not active at the moment. But you can see the climate requirements are hellish, and there's no temperature tolerance. If this temperature tolerance was 1 or 2, it would allow me to, have it in a more temperate area. But because there's no temperature tolerance, that means it has to be in hell. Cool. And it is nocturnal, so that's a good thing at least. Sweet. And you can see it's possible that it produces all this cool stuff, which is, extra cool. I guess we already got this combination. Cool. So we'll put this guy here and let him run. Now, let's get back to that mob grinder. So for those of you who may have skipped last episode for whatever reason, I built a mob grinder in a void world of Mistcraft. Mistcraft gives us this void dimension, which is pretty cool. I didn't put a roof on this room yet still. I just have my overworld linking book, a chest to store some goodies, and a nice big room here. You can see some drops still laying there because I haven't been back to this world since last episode. The lights in here are controlled by a light switch, so lights off. Boom. And when the lights are off, it's very easy for mobs to spawn because there's nowhere else for them to spawn. So when I turn the lights back on, you'll see we already got one spawning. By me standing in the doorway, it ensured that they spawned pretty far away. Sweet. So I want to now automatically kill these things. There's no sense in me running into the room and killing them. I want them to die automatically. So the best bet for that to happen is to set up something like... Probably with these blocks that I mapped out last time, I need to use them. They're not going to be cobblestone, of course. They're going to be actual blocks to kill things. So let's get started building what I'm going to do. Alright, so let's start creating the items that we're going to use to automatically kill this stuff. I bet you guys are just dying to find out what they are. Alright guys, time to start crafting something I haven't made in a while. You can see a bunch of industrial craft stuff in my inventory. That's right, we're going to use industrial craft to kill these things. Awesome. Industrial craft gives us a bunch of cool, neat things that you can use to kill stuff. You can see them right now, just extracting some sticky resin, getting some rubber. And I want to start crafting at least enough goodies here. So let's get a bunch of insulated wiring here. I think I'm going to need about 8 or so of the these thingies. So you know what? Yeah, let's do this. I'm just going to get these guys set up first. That'll be good. And then I need probably a bunch of redstone and refined iron. So I'm going to get all the items I need, and then I'll meet up with you guys in a minute when I'm ready. Alright, hopefully I've got everything I need. So let's get about 6 of these guys going. That should be pretty close to what I need. Yep. And some redstone. Probably going to need 8, like I said. Cool. 1 more. Perfect. So I've got 8 electronic circuits. Next off, I'm going to need a good amount of these guys, machine blocks. 8 of them. And if I combine my machine blocks with the copper cabling, you guys have seen me make MV transformers before, right? Yeah, those things are cool. And if I get some refined iron, wow, I had exactly enough, and that was totally a mistake, I swear. There we go. I get some Tesla coils. Oh yeah, Tesla coils are cool. I'm going to need some power generation down there. I'm going to need a bunch of other cool stuff. So let's get started and get ready. Now, everybody keeps yelling at me for having not used these energy crystals yet. Well, guess what? I'm about to use them. Because I want to create an MFE, I think. Yeah, that should be good. So you've seen an MFE in the past. I'm going to get a couple more diamonds and meet you guys back here in a minute once I've got, the rest of the stuff made. There we go, the MFE is ready to go. So I've got my MFE. I'm going to need some power transfer cables. So in my industrial craft chest, I might have some of the fiber cabling stuff. Maybe not. I don't have any. Did I use it all last time I made it? I guess so. It's been a while. I won't lie. How about in here? I don't suppose I have any. Probably not. No. Alright, so just remembering that the fiber cable stuff is created like so. Just some glass, a diamond, and some redstone on either side will get you 4, but if you use silver, you get 6. Awesome. So let's get ourselves a bunch of silver metals. That's probably good. And make sure I have enough glass on me for this. Let's go with 4 diamonds worth. I'm probably going to need even more than this, believe it or not, so I'll probably wind up just getting myself a few more diamonds. But for now, this will go. 24? Yeah, it should be good to go for now. Cool. So that works. Let's go down there and start setting these things up. I should maybe even create an energy crystal real quick. Maybe just one to bring down there so I can use it to test with. Because you know me, I love to test. So just going to craft one of these guys and charge it up in the MFE that I have up here. There we go. And I'll be back when I'm in the nether, or in the mob grinder age. Alright, back in my mob grinder age. So all the lights are on right now. Let's go ahead and drill into the floor where we're going to have our Tesla coils. That means you. So remember, I kind of mapped these out ahead of time, and I probably derped a little bit on where I put the wiring. Remember I said I'd probably have to move this wiring? I can already tell I probably will. That's okay. I'll fix it. Not a huge problem. I should have had the cobblestone on the other side of the block that it landed on, because I wanted to have an empty space like there. So these guys should be able to encompass this entire room, because like I said, I tested in my test world, and they seem to have a range of about 4 blocks when they're in the floor here like this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 to here, and then this guy is 1, 2, 3, 4. So they should pretty much encompass the entire room, these 8 Tesla coils. So a nice way to kill everything automatically. Sweet. So I'm going to go underground real quick and move these wires like I said. I should have had them running along here. I'll be back. Alright, so remember when I said there was a method to my madness and why I was running my cabling the way I was? Basically, it's as follows. Come here, you. I don't want the redstone signal that's touching the lights right now to affect the Tesla coils. And if I were to run them on the bottom of these lights, the redstone signal here would flow over to here, but in my testing I found that if I ran them along the sides here, like it is in this portrayal, the redstone signal will not affect the block next to it and won't mess with the lighting. So that's kind of cool. The next thing I'm going to need to do is run my conduits for power. So here's my glass fiber cabling, remember. We basically want to run this, and I told you I wouldn't have nearly enough. Yeah, I'm not even going to have close to enough. I'm going to need at least another, I don't know, a lot of this stuff. Yeah. So how about I go back to the overworld, get what I need, and come back. There we go. Just popped over to the overworld, got myself some diamonds, and took care of this. So basically, I want to run this wiring like so, straight into these guys. And this will help power my Tesla coils. Of course, they do require energy to run, industrial craft electricity. Now I'm going to want to bring this guy down a line so that I can run him over to here. That looks good. And the same for this one, because I need to get around this redstone wiring that I've got. Cool. Alright, let's bring these two together and then figure out how I'm going to generate electricity in this age, because I definitely need to generate the electricity to power these things. But for now, I'm thinking, do I want something, maybe like a platform or something under here, just so that I can actually, you know, do a little bit of work. And the ability to fly, really important if you're going to mess around in a void age. Like, don't even mess around with void worlds if you can't fly. That's just a recommendation. I mean, you know, play however you want, but I wouldn't be in this age if I couldn't fly, that's for sure. Alright, where's that MFE that I brought down here? Cool. Now, the other thing I need to do is run some more redstone signaling. So there's that red alloy wire. I might need more of it, but that's okay. I've got some other good stuff in here. In my orange bag, I've got some red alloy ingots. So if I need more, I can get them. But now I need to run some redstone wires like so. Let's see. I think I want to run them along this line here. So when the redstone signal applies here, it should trigger and activate this block right next to it, because remember, redstone signals can travel through blocks. So that's what this line's for now. Okay, so that's one line to activate those guys. And this one's going to need another line here to activate these guys. And note that it's separate, and I did need more of this, so... There we go. I'm going to have to figure out how I want this. You know what? This might be a good spot to use a null state cell. Probably. How about I go show you guys what a null state cell does? If you watch Season 3, you know. If you didn't, you're about to learn. Alright, the null state cell, as you can see, the recipe here, actually requires a new type of component here. It just requires red alloy wire on a stone wafer for stone red wire. And then it's a pretty simple thing to build, just like this. Null cell. Cool. What's a null cell do? Well, it's pretty simple. If you're, you know, handy with redstone. If not, might not be so simple, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quick once I show you. What happens if you want to run a wire like this, and then you want to run a wire in the same place like I was doing across here? Well, the same lever is going to activate, or either lever is really going to activate the whole thing. That's where a null cell comes in. Just plop that guy right at the intersection, and the null cell will pretty much make the wires separate. So you can activate one wire set, you can activate the other, or you can activate both at the same time. It's called a null cell because it doesn't actually affect the wires around it. There's other ones called inverted, whatchamacallits, and something else. There's two other ones you can get that basically one wire will affect the other wire, but not the other way around. It's useful for making some pretty compact designs, but this is going to be the perfect tool to get back to my mob grinder and run this cabling. So let's see. And I should be able to put it on the roof. So if I break this line real quick, connect this guy back up so the lights go back on, and then run this signal here, note that it's not going to mess around too much except for that part where it, you know, did. Okay, I might need another null cell, or maybe just change the way this wiring works. I could just rewire this thing a little bit. Let's do that. Activate this just to make sure. Oh, by the way, I'm totally making that room very dark right now. There we go. Hopefully not too many enemies spawned in there. Oh, just a few. I think I put my Archangel Smite in here. Ha! All clean. Okay, so let's figure out where exactly I might want to have this next thing. And yay for the Void Ring being a little bit of a, you know, sucking ability. Let's do this. Might want to have a lever actually sitting here. This could be my death switch lever. Okay, just like that, on, off. And that's going to activate my Tesla coils, because Tesla coils will activate when they receive a redstone signal. So this guy's a little bit low, but I'm not going to mess around with him too much. Let's get out of here some strips. Marble brick. Perfect. It'll look nice. There we go. So now we should be able to flip this lever independent of this lever. And I could have done this with, you know, the other wiring stuff, but it doesn't really matter either way. So, seriously. There we go. So I can now activate this lever, and it should turn on this guy, and I need to, yeah, figure out a good way to get it over to here as well. So give me a second. You know what I could probably do? There we go. Ha! Sweet. So that'll activate all my Tesla coils. So all I should have to do now is kind of swing over here and flip one lever for the lights and the other one for the Tesla coils, and we're good to go. So up is off and down is on. Cool. I like it. So a good way to really test this thing right now, and I better eat and make sure I have full health, because there's a very real possibility I could die in a moment, because these Tesla coils, they hurt. And I've only got really 2 pieces of armor on me that protect me from damage. So that's very much a possible way for me to die. But let's get that energy crystal that we charged up before we came down here. Or charged up but didn't take out of the MFE when we... yeah. Whoops. Hey, there it is. Energy crystal. Forgot it. Back to the mob grinder. So I should now be able to charge up all these things. Now remember, this energy crystal holds about 100,000 EU, and these Tesla coils have an internal capacitor of about 10,000 each. So when I put this guy in here and start charging it up, it'll quickly drain out to all the Tesla coils and really only pretty much have about 20,000 left, if my math is right. So it should be draining out. You can see it's almost halfway empty, but it really didn't even fill the MFE up too much. And once it's done discharging all its energy, there it goes. It's going to continue discharging energy out of the MFE and into all the Tesla coils to help keep them powered. And I guess a good way to test this is to actually get some mobs spawned. So like I said, exactly 10,000 energy per Tesla coil, and each time it shoots a zap of electricity, it's going to use that energy up. So let's turn the lights off. Or no, that's... oh, yeah, see, look. I did get hurt. Quite a bit, like I promised. That was not the light switch. I got to remember which one's the light switch. I'll put a sign up or something. So let's see. Give it a few seconds for a few mobs to spawn in there. And if you get a little further away, it'll be better. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Ta-da! They all just died. Courtesy of my Tesla coil. Cool. Now the MFE is probably completely out of juice from all the shocking it just did. Not a problem. And we got some cool items. Yay, items. So I'm going to store all that stuff as well. And how are we doing? Not bad. So I'm hurting a little bit from my encounter with the Tesla coil. Maybe it's a good time to create a sign. Or 2. That sounds cool. And lights. Cool. Lights, Tesla coil, action. So now I've got this nice little MFE sitting here. Completely out of juice. Don't even have enough energy to recharge those things. Better have something that can produce a lot of industrial craft electricity, huh? Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's go to the overworld and start considering how we're going to do that. So how am I going to create energy in that age, a good amount of it, enough to power all those crazy Tesla coils I've got all over the place, Well, of course, I'm going to have to go with nuclear energy. Time to build a nuclear reactor. Now, I'm not going to build a giant crazy one like you saw last season. I'm going to build, at least in this age, a pretty small scale one. I'm thinking like just one, not even have any chambers in it, just the reactor itself. 0 chambers. I already checked up on the Industrial Craft Forum and found a nice stable one that I'd like to build, and it's going to work out pretty well for me. It'll create 14 million EU per cycle, and it's got a decent cooldown system, but I'm not too worried about that. I think it'll be good for us. So, like I said, not going to have 6 chambers on it and have a big, crazy, complicated, ice cooling machine. I don't need that much energy. I just need something that produces a decent amount of electricity and keeps us running. So, nuclear reactor, 1 chamber, no extra chambers there. It's a pretty complicated machine, though. I need to get a bunch of advanced alloys and some advanced circuits. Oh boy. In addition to those advanced circuits, I need a reactor chamber, which is a machine block with some more advanced alloys and some integrated reactor plating, that stuff there, advanced alloy and copper ingots. And I'm also going to need an integrated heat disperser, which is a piece of integrated reactor plating that then gets upgraded with all this stuff. So you can see a bunch of crazy things required. Not a big deal though. I'm going to probably wind up adding to my auto crafting system quite a bit in the next few minutes. I want to auto craft at least half a dozen things. We're going to want probably advanced alloys. We need to compress those. I might not auto craft them. I might just mixed metal ingot them, but we'll see. And then, a couple other things. We'll see what happens. I'll be back though. Well, my basement is getting cramped. First thing that came to mind as I came down here. Gonna have to figure out, I don't think this guy has to be, by the way, logistics. Let's figure out how I want to rearrange this room just a little bit. Maybe not like a big rearrangement or anything, but just a bit so that I don't have to have quite as complex of a room as I have at the moment. Who'd have thought once I built this basement that I'd be running into issues with space? Ha! Alright, what I'm thinking is maybe just clear out in this direction, and that ought to do. Look at that. Perfect, right? So I'm going to head down that way, and it's kind of going to be like the opposite direction of what I've got going on at the moment here. And I'm only going a few blocks at a time. I don't want to go too deep, because I don't think I'm underwater, but who knows, right? So we're probably going to want our torches along this wall. So I'll dig out a little bit here and then be back when I'm done. Not too far. That's probably about it. I don't even need to come back when I'm done, because I'm done. Let's clear out up to here a little bit, I guess, right? Like that ought to be nice. Or underneath the volcano-ish area, I believe. Hopefully not hitting any water. Good, we didn't. Nice. So now we're at the same height of the ceiling as this room, which is good. I can just run some cobblestone piping, probably right off in this direction, and maybe start the process right here is where I'll probably want to start my basic logistics pipes. But instead of a basic, I'll use a crafting. There we go. So crafting logistics pipe can go here. And then the crafting tables can go here. That'll work. So that way an item that needs to get crafted can come down here, get routed that way, and into the tables. Not bad at all. Alright, next up I need to get ready to request a bunch of items because I need to start teaching these tables what I want to get doing. So I'll be back once I have everything I need. Alright, first off I want to teach this thing how to make bronze because we do need bronze. Okay, so step 1, bronze. Good. The next thing I need to teach it once I get 3 pieces of bronze, there we go, is that if you put bronze in the middle here and tin along the bottom and I'm going to need some refined iron. How do I want to craft that is a good question. Alright, I have an idea. Let's go for broke. Klein Star Dry here. Is that the way I want to do it? Sure. Let's create a new item. I'm going to need a bunch of dark matter. Yoink. That's 5 of them. I'm going to need 3 more. And I can always, convert this stuff back to EMC if I need to, if I decide I don't want it. But what I'm going to craft here is a dark matter furnace. Pretty cool device. Works pretty well. It has a bunch of inputs. It's very quick at smelting items, and it's usually pretty good with receiving items from pipes. So let's do that. 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and I should also probably grab a Mark 1 energy collector. I think a Mark 1's enough. So I'll charge this Klein star back up and then head downstairs. So I think a good spot for this thing would be where? Well, let's craft it first. The way you get a piece of dark matter block is 4 dark matter like that. So 4 dark matter equals 4 dark matter blocks. So I'm going to need 8 dark matter blocks in the standard shape of a furnace to get... Hey, what the... Thought that was how you make a dark matter furnace. Oh, furnace in the middle. Easy enough to do. There we go. Hey, dark matter furnace. Cool. I'm thinking over here is probably a good spot for it. I should be able to put this guy here. No, not rolling machine. Dark matter furnace. Ooh, look how fancy that guy looks. I like him. The reason I did that? Well, let's see. Yeah, that should be okay. Or do I not want him there? I might not want him there. I guess I'll just put him down here. Maybe on the other side of this room, though, because I might want him to act a little differently than the rest. So yeah, I'm going to clean out a little bit more space and then be back. Alright, yeah, so what I'm thinking is maybe just place my, dark matter thingy right here. That might be good. With some stone transport pipes. And did I make another? I guess I didn't make another crafting pipe. I should. Just get a couple glowstone. So the crafting pipe can be used on furnaces, as you're about to see. And if I just run this over here, that should be good. So that's an intersection. It's got a pipe, and then just cobblestone to here. Perfect. The dark matter furnace, pretty awesome. It can cook things up using fuel if you want to put fuel in here, and it's pretty efficient. And if you put items in these slots here, it'll kind of, use them next. But instead of using fuel, I'm going to use an energy collector. Energy collectors can be used to power this thing. See? Cool. So the energy collector sitting right next to it will power it up, which is awesome. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could cook up more stuff. Beautiful. Not bad at all. Now, what I'm going to want to do is probably wind up having multiple inputs here. So, maybe one on the other side. I wonder if I can put this guy underneath him and if it would work. He might not produce any energy underneath. I know the tier 3s do. Nope. See? No energy getting produced. Oh, well. It'll have to be on the side. And the cool thing is this collector will continue to collect energy when it's not being used. So if I wanted to, I could charge up my Klein star. There we go. Ha. Anyway, let's request a few pieces of iron here. There it comes. What I'm going to do is cook one of them up, like that, and teach my pipe now that iron equals refined iron. Beautiful. I love it. So now I should be able to request, let's say... I don't know, 11 refined iron. Oh, it had some in my chest. Of course it did. I want to test the crafting aspect, dummy. Get the refined iron out of there and try that again. There we go. Iron should head off in that direction, make its way back. Whoosh. Get converted into refined iron, and we're good to go. Awesome. Alright, so we're getting kind of long on this episode, but not a big deal. I'm just going to wrap up these crafting tables, and then I'll be back next episode to get the nuclear reactor going. So mixed metal ingots are ready to roll, and I think I should teach my system upstairs, so let's get that ready. Alright, so let's test this thing out. Mixed metal ingots should be available here. I'm going to request 2 of them, and everything should zip along downstairs the way I want it to, I hope. Things are flying everywhere, all the stuff's happening, and then when it's done, I should have 2 mixed metal ingots waiting for me. Hooray! Now I'm going to cook one of them up in my compressor, and while that's happening, I'm going to make sure that my overclocker upgrades are in there as well. Make things a little bit quicker for me. I might even make a few more of these, but that gets me the advanced alloy. Now I'll put my crafting logistics pipe right here, and get rid of this guy, so that it kind of expands our system, and I can teach it that mixed metal ingot becomes advanced alloy. Awesome. So now I should directly be able to request an advanced alloy. And when that happens, Oh, it came out because I already had one somewhere. In here, maybe? Yeah. Alright, let's try that again. Request. Items should zip around, and eventually I should come up with a bunch of stuff happening. The mixed metal ingot should land right in here. I might add overclocker upgrades, like I said. And then once it's done compressing, I'll go ahead and have it spit out here. I'll either do overclocker upgrades or maybe make that advanced compression thingy. That might be a better one to do. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. We'll see. I might do that. Yeah, well, I don't know. Alright, so I quickly taught my table the integrated reactor plating off camera, but there's something else I need to teach that I forgot I might want to need. So let's do this. If I put tin like that, I get the bucket, or no, not that. That's what I'm looking for. Not those cans. Those empty cells. Remember the industrial craft cells? Okay, so now that I've taught my table that thing, we'll do this. I'm going to need 2 of you at least for now. Lots of logistics going on in today's episode, huh? And import. No, import. There we go. So empty cells should be easily made. And if I request at least one of them, or 2, let's do 2. It should zip along some items. Request successful. Oh yeah, there we go, 2 of them. Alright, I want to try and put them in here and see if this will work. So let's try it. Deployer. Hooray, it worked. Exactly what I was hoping for. So all I need to do then is this guy here will drop something on the ground that I don't care too much about losing if it, forget about it. Alright, right into here. That ought to do. So I can put another crafting logistics pipe here and tell it empty cell yields water cell. Ta-da! Now I should be able to automatically craft water cells, which is another important component of what I'm about to make. Going to need a lot of them, believe it or not. And trust me, this is really useful to do, this type of thing. But let's get about 4 water cells. So there go all the cells. They're going to head down in that direction. And then a few seconds later, some more water ones should come and make their way over here. Beautiful. Gotta love logistics pipes. Really, really do. Okay. One more of these automatic crafter dealies will be dedicated for the machine upstairs that I'm about to mess around with, the extractor. So yeah, I'm probably going to want to get those advanced machine versions of the extractor. But let's get the crafting logistics pipe here, get this guy knocked off, and then teach this thing that a water cell input will yield, dun dun dun, coolant cells. Beautiful. Now, the interesting thing about coolant cells and the integrated reactor plating and a lot of reactor components is they do not stack, which is a problem. Part of the reason I'm going through all the trouble of making these automated. Alright, these last 2 crafting tables here, and I'm pretty close to wrapping up, guys. I'm really sorry to say that, but it is very close to a wrapping up point. Getting our electronic circuits ready. Now, I did not teach my crafting system how to make copper cabling. But that's okay. I'll do it manually this time and probably make it a little bit more automatic next time. So just get some copper cabling with my rubber there. I should automate raw rubber production too, but oh well. Now I should be able to request one of those electronic circuits. Bunch of goodies heading that way, and then coming back. What? Oh, there they go. Just taking a few seconds for the redstone to show up because it had to get uncrated. Okay, and this guy is going to be the automatic production of this stuff. And with that, I'm going to have to wrap up this episode. So this is Direwolf20's signing off on episode 68. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And next episode, I'll come back to finish up this logic system here that's going to automatically create most of the components I need for nuclear reactors. And then what I'll do is probably also upgrade those 2 machines upstairs, like I mentioned. Probably might even want to automate rubber production in a future episode, but not yet. I'll be good for now manually creating it. Maybe even off camera, I'm going to add some automatic crafting tables here for copper and copper cabling. All right, guys, take it easy.